David Spade, actor, comedian, writer, producer, one of the genuinely funny people that make me laugh. I don't bring a lot of comedians on the show, and Spade's one of them because I think he's really funny, and I think he's a good guy. New Netflix film, The Wrong Missy. So we were talking about the MJ documentary. You have to have watched some of it because because there's no sports on television. How much have you seen of it?
Hey, bud. Hi, Joy. I think I'm in the middle of 7. I don't think I'm caught up yet because Pippen hasn't sat out. And that's what I heard you guys or someone was talking about.
Yeah.
And I remember it is interesting. A couple things come to mind, like how hard the fouls were and how they didn't seem to care at all.
It was brutal. It was tackling, essentially.
I mean, it was an assault. They should have had police instead of refs. It was so rough. I'm like, and they took it, and like the Pistons, and then I think it comes up again later with other teams. But I remember Jordan was, that was sort of my pocket. I look old, but I'm super young. But when he hosted SNL was the only time I got up close to him, and that was maybe around 92, 93, and he was such a superstar that he was signing so many autographs that there was a line out of his dressing room slowing down rehearsal and with basketballs, and they had to stop it. The show had to stop it because it was the first time they had to do that.
Of all the stars you've ever had, that he was the biggest.
Mm-hmm. He was the biggest as far as, it's like Al Franken holding 6 basketballs. I'm like, guy, come on, we got to do Weekend Update.
By the way, what was I'm going to go back because you said that on YouTube and watch it. Was there a skit that was funny? Did he have a comedic timing like a Peyton Manning?
He was super likable, as you know, from just seeing him on things. I watched this documentary, and I'm like, I'm actually more starstruck by him now if I saw him.
Same here.
You know what I mean? I'm like, how cool is this dude? But he was sort of the type of host which is cool, where tell me what to do, show me what to do, I'll do my best. But, when everyone's usually out of their element when they come from sports over there, and they like the feedback. So I was too low on the totem pole, and I would never say anything to him anyway. I don't want to get in his face. But everyone was helping him along, and we did this hilarious, like, Washington Generals sketch where we didn't want him on our team. It was all the 5 white guys, and we didn't want him on our team. And even though he was so good, we fired him off the team. But I didn't have a line. But he said, "You're all getting rid of me?" And he looks at me, he goes, "Even you, Pee-wee?" And then I just turn my head down in shame. And it gets a laugh. But he's so famous, I forget I even met him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm watching the documentary, and people are like, "You were on the show with him." I go, "Oh, right, I was." But we didn't have any, we didn't click. I mean, we're not BFFs.
Spade, David, you have always been... you're a sports fan. I mean, you watch UFC. Yeah. I watch your stuff. So I remember you at NBA games. And you were you were like a front row guy, right?
Yeah. Front row only, Colin. You understand.
Yeah.
Well, if they let me, I will sit. I used to go to Diamondbacks games. I'm from Scottsdale.
Yeah.
I went to, I remember Kurt Schilling saw me in the audience, and I had a Fat Burger hat on, and he pointed to his hat to switch. So, we both signed our hats and threw them to each other. That was my big run-in at the Diamondbacks. But I wasn't a super baseball guy. I was just, excited to be close to one of the playoff games. And then I saw Barkley. He hosted SNL, and he was on the Suns.
Now, he's funny. He's genuinely a funny guy.
Barkley I got along with because we actually, when I was back in Scottsdale, we hung out a little bit. And we went, I don't always like to hang out with people over 6'2", as a rule. Yeah. Because I look like too much of a shrimp cocktail, so I can't deal with the regular people, and I definitely don't want to go hang out with Taco Fall. So I got me and Barkley, and we go to Bobby McGee's, this dumb restaurant. Yeah. It's like disco night. We're tearing up. And going home, he was probably going about 500 miles an hour. And I go, "Hey, you got to watch it. There's cops all over." And he goes, "Come on, man, I'm Elvis here." I'm like, "Oh, that's true."
Yeah, that's Barkley's legendary for buying everybody drinks. People like Barkley's one of the all-time best guys.
He was very likable, very funny. I rarely ever see the dude anymore, but super cool. It was right when they were having that great run. And a lot of fun to be around. All those athletes are fun if you get to see them. I sat behind Brady at UFC once. Very friendly. I watched this one the other night, that one that was in the Outback Steakhouse parking
I loved
lot
it.
in Jacksonville.
I thought it was a great card.
Yeah, I like it. I thought it was good because I just felt bad for Ferguson. Like, he doesn't get to do it in front of all the fans, and now here he is.
Oh, he got blistered.
In an alley. He started, at about the third round, he looked like Gollum, and then he walked out looking like Sling Blade. But it doesn't even get Khabib now. It's like, wait, I thought I was doing someone a favor. Now I'm totally out of the mix. That's a tough racket.
No,
UFC.
Ferguson's got a different look. There is it's almost like he was a superhero, and the illustrator couldn't get the arcs to work.
They didn't get it nailed just right. It was a little undercooked. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
No, that's what it looked like to me. David Spade is joining us. This it's funny. I applaud you because, listen, I'm not a fan of Trump, but I do think sometimes what I love about comedians is that they have courage. And I don't think there's a ton of courage bashing Trump. Now, Stephen Colbert is very political, and I'm all for it. That's what Stephen's tunnel is. He's great at it. But you said, I'm going to do a nighttime show, and we're not going to do politics. Did you get pushback from the comedic community because you wouldn't be in line with what everybody else is doing?
Well, it immediately made me look like I was for Trump.
Right.
But I wasn't. I was just saying it's almost harder to just pull jokes out of the air than, Trump will talk in the day, and it's like a setup, and then they come on at late night and spike it.
Yeah.
Like, he's saying something so crazy, you just have to repeat it and get a laugh, and then say one more thing, and it's funny, So I just thought, I felt a little burnt on it, and I was never really like that. I felt like I related to Jordan when he was saying, I just don't get political. It's not my thing. I have one move. I'm supposed to be funny. I'm an entertainer. You turn to me. I don't want people arguing when they watch me. I don't want people fighting. So I don't really want to take a side. I could think of probably funny Trump jokes. I could think of funny Biden jokes. I just try to make dumber jokes that don't really matter. You know what I mean? And that's a lane. I haven't gotten any flack from comics about it. I think as long as you stay funny and stay true to yourself, they're okay with it.
Yeah, like two of my favorite comedians in the world are you and Norm Macdonald. And I think Norm is, I think he's off, and I think he's brilliant. But Norm, similarly, is about the comedy.
Yeah.
And I think you are true to that. You are about the comedy. You and Norm are you guys close?
Yeah, we're pretty tight. We in between his 300 tweets during a golf tournament.
It's so strange.
By the way, yeah, Norm is a weirdo, but I love him. We did that Netflix, his show.
I saw it was hysterically. By the way, you've got to watch this. So Norm's always been, you kind of seamlessly worked from comedy into TV. You're an easy guy to turn into a character. You've worked in movies. Norm is so unique. He's almost like Brian Regan. It's hard to work on TV. And then they created a show seemingly in a garage, and it worked. And it works.
Created is a strong word.
But it does work, right?
It did work. I thought it was interesting. I walk out, and I've known Norm forever, and from the SNL days till now. So he goes, David, I want you to be the first guy on my show. And I go, all right, yeah, let's just, I go, what are we going to talk about? He goes, anything, I don't care. So it's a little loosey-goosey already, which I'm 100% fine with. And 10 minutes into it, I go, oh, wait, we're filming already? usually it's like a whole to-do, and okay, we're going to bring you up, we got to get you mic'd up, we're going to walk you out, and then, there's 2 steps down, and then you sit down, and Norm will bring you out. And I'm just talking, and he's like drinking a Sprite or something. I go, can you have that up here? Are you guys sponsored? He goes, what? I don't know. And then there's like forklift, beep, beep, goes right across the camera. I go, Norm, is this a practice show? What's happening? We got to work the bugs out because there's a ton of bugs. Yeah, he was great. But bringing him on anything, he's got a good Quirks Ahoy factor that just people are intrigued by.
Yeah, no,
he's nice to have.
Yeah, no, he is. New Netflix film is called The Wrong Missy, released tomorrow, May 13th. Basically, you think you've invited the woman of your dreams on a work retreat to Hawaii. I just watched the tape, and you realize too late you mistakenly text somebody from a nightmare blind date. Now, why for you? Joe Dirt comes to mind, Tommy Boy. not all comedians, Letterman, work in movies. It takes, I don't know what it is. There's a sensibility about it. Again, you have a lane, a character lane, and it works. Did you ever think you would go into movies and it would work? And it's worked well.
No, I mean, just even doing stand-up when I started in Scottsdale, I didn't even think I could do anything. I mean, I went to ASU for... Did someone in your family goes to ASU?
Yeah, my daughter goes to Baird Honors, and that little honor school inside the smart people.
By the way, I'll sell her one of my anthropology credits if she wants. I actually did not graduate. Funny enough. Those are on eBay right now, all my credits. But I went to ASU, Scottsdale Community. I never thought that high. That was such a ceiling that was so beyond anything, beyond SNL or headline a comedy club. So just being in stand-up and my type of persona got me opening some doors where I got in to be parts in movies and all that. So it worked out. But listen, I've done probably 25 movies.
I know.
People can name 5 of them.
Yeah, but
so
you know what?
It's hard to get them all right, but I do like doing them.
Listen, Brando had 9 bombs. Streetcar Named Desire is one of the good ones. Brando had, the bottom line is, the 3 or 4 funniest movies I've ever watched, Tommy Boy's one of them. Hangover, Tommy Boy.
Yeah, I love those.
I thought 40-Year-Old Virgin was a riot.
Hilarious, yeah. I mean, believe me, I watch movies. I get jealous. I'm competitive like that. I want to be good, and I really appreciate good comedy. I appreciate well-written stuff. I appreciate good lines. When I watch a comedian, I can watch for it's probably like watching the combine for an athlete. I watch someone on stage, and after 2 jokes, you can tell if they got game. I'm like, or they got nothing. But after 1 joke, I go, it might be a fluke. Second joke, I go, ooh, good. And
how about Steve Carell's career? He's done a hell of a job.
Carell's a monster.
He is kind of
always good in different moves, and he can be serious. And The Office is such a weird thing to play that's not obvious comedy. It's very dry, which I love, and a lot of people copy that style of documentary and Modern Family's kind of that stuff. I love it. So there's guys I still will go watch, and I still love that I'm friends with or get to see out. I did a Zoom call the other day, and I think Chappelle was on it, and Kevin Hart, and Chris Rock, and Sandler, and Sebastian. It's fun just to have a bunch of comedians. It's a very precarious situation. You don't know when you're going to jump in because everyone's just smart. You know what I mean? Forget about funny. They're just smart, quick on their feet.
The movie is called The Wrong Missy. It's released tomorrow. It is a new Netflix film. He's a really good guy. I should say this. I don't know about your personal situation, but I've seen you twice publicly at restaurants with beautiful women. And I don't even know if that's appropriate. But done very well for yourself, and I'm very happy for you.
Where Colin was right. No, now and then I stumble into a winner, but I'm seeing someone now, so I think I've tricked someone into hanging out with me, which is very tough.
David, I love your stuff. You're a riot.
Thank you very much for having me. I watch all the time, and I listen all the time, and now joy with the news. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
All right, you guys. I appreciate it, Colin. I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, David Spade. Very funny guy, actor, comedian. The new Netflix film, The Wrong Missy, will be released tomorrow. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.